I wasn't planning to make a comment. I did not intend to say a word. But with the general elections in the air, I thought I should let my voice be heard. This is a time when party supporters with the ability to compose will suddenly become important persons, and the reason everybody knows. Cause politicians who couldn't find your number just a few months ago now sending you WhatsApp messages and plenty emails also. But I have made a firm decision, and certain people ought to be aware that I am walking down a different road, and they better lend me an ear. Just this one last vote are giving them. Just one last vote are giving them. And it's in the party's best interest to take note. Cause I do not intend to keep on being friend with a tourism minister who is doing quite well but can't call a hotel on behalf of me and Keisha. Tell me if it's normal for a man to stay loyal to a political party when he can't even raise a little money to pay to record his commentary. But whoever asking if I'm voting Benz, tell them the answer is yes. But I'm bloody vexed, so I'm voting next elections under protest. This is not any willy-nilly song. This comes straight from the horse's mouth. And by that I mean I'm just stating concerns of party supporters all about. The days of taking people votes for granted ended many years ago. Look around the world, you'll find evidence people ain't taking that crap no more. And when wanna borrow people generators to use at public meetings, don't do all the renting from them big companies after the party wins. And it's silly to think people will keep working without any recompense. Jackasses gone from about a long time. Nowadays dollars make no sense. Just this one last vote are giving them. Just one last vote are giving them. And it's in the party's best.
Hello, Sid Martin.
Julian Roulon Jr. of the URSM is celebrating Curaçao Day on the 1st of July. Celebração Dia de Bandeira de Curaçao na Banco Patroquipan Riba Ponfer. Ambiente trancasali for de 5 de 10 horas de noite. Só piala on the house. Susupan será estilo Curaçao. Bota recibido com leite também. Automaticamente pieza na de Curaçao de zona. Julian Roulon Jr. The kid of the solution Davidable.
Hello, Sid Martin.
Welcome to the Late Night Show. Hope everything is okay. Hope everything is all right. I'm your host, Andrew Dick. Okie dokie, what's happening on the lovely island of St. Martin? Breaking news, I got a news for you out of this world. The National Alliance and the United People's Party government has done it again. They have put locals first. They really find that you are qualified local people of St. Martin. Why I say that is because they decided to hire a Dutchman as the head of WINAIR. Yes, Michael Cleaver, an American who has been on St. Martin for quite some time, so he's kind of St. Martinish by now because he's been on St. Martin longer than me, so he's kind of more St. Martinish than me. But either way, he's still of American descent. So you would think that we would have groomed enough pilots and enough persons with the qualities and skill and qualifications to put somebody at the head of our national air carrier. And instead, the government decided to choose a Dutchman that has never been on St. Martin. No, I don't have anything against Dutch people because I know the PFP must be upset with me right now, going like, what's the problem, Andrew? What's the problem? the Dutch are fine. They're great people. They never put us through slavery. What are you talking about? No, 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 no. Take it easy. I'm talking about 30 individuals applying for a position as the new CEO of WINAIR. And out of the 30 people from Curaçao, Seba, Stacia, St. Martin, yes, quite a number of persons were from St. Martin also. They didn't qualify, but anyway, they applied. And the Netherlands. And who do we pick? Who do we pick? Take a guess. The Netherlands. We got a CEO that's going to be coming to St. Martin very soon for the first time. And he got a 5-year contract thanks to this government as the head of the national carrier of St. Martin, WINAIR. Congratulations. And his name, I got his name. You can't get more Dutch than this, people. His name is Johannes Hans van der Velde. That's him. Congratulations. Gefeliciteerd. Gefeliciteerd. Get the mayonnaise. Get the coffee. How a cigarette. Anyway, that's too much. That's too much. Anyway, I have nothing against Hans van der Velde. I have nothing against Hans van der Velde at all. You know, but I would have rather a Richardson, a Hodge. You know, I would have rather, you know, somebody, a cousin of the minister, at least Tommy from the Pontville. Give him a chance. We just gonna give every Dutchman the head of. Anyway, in the Council of Ministers press briefing, I asked a question concerning this. And of course, you know, I had to be sly with my question because otherwise the Prime Minister would have given me the, but I still got the, because that's how this government works. Whenever you ask them hard questions, they give you. Anyway, take a look.
Prime Minister, concerning the Managing Director for WINAIR, our national carrier. Now, we received reports that a Dutch candidate has been selected as the managing director, the next managing director for that company. Does the Council of Ministers or this government have an issue with local aviation professionals taking to the top helm at our companies? Thank you.
Very interesting question. You know that story, they say damned if you do, damned if you don't? I think this is another case. Minister mentioned it just now. You get the outcry, government, you need to do X, Y, and Z. Then you get the outcry, government, you're over-involved. Here is where corporate governance comes to play. WINAIR is a government-owned company. Yes, a shared government-owned company at that. We do own the majority shares as St. Martin. Since last year, the sitting director CEO was coming to the end of his tenure. The recommendation was to extend. Government did not agree. We said no, hire a new, give our locals opportunity to apply, etc. A transparent and thorough process was utilized in which, yes, there were some local candidates as well. And I am not going to sit on the seat of the professionals who evaluate those things. We looked at the recommendations, we looked at the evaluations that were made, and the recommendations from the supervisory board, and government took its decision based on what is best for the company at this time. Seeing that a local did not make the top cut, we did request and we're busy preparing a letter to go out to all government-owned companies to ensure that there is a policy to make it more feasible that persons who show the promise within the company, that they get the opportunity either to be, counterparts or to receive the necessary training. So in the tenure of the incoming CEO, it is being recommended that a local that had scored closer, the highest out of the other locals, then I should say, to be able to have the opportunity to train or get a director position within the company so that they can move forward. I'm saying more than I should because it's unfortunate when people use their platforms to promote their own narratives of whatever they think the public would want to hear. Today for me, tomorrow for you. In another case, they might turn around and say, oh, because it's such and such that gets hired, it's nepotism. So let us please respect processes. We want to grow as a country, then we must learn to adhere to, if you put out a bid or you put out an open ad stating an ad, you have to then take along what comes. And if you're going to reject the best person for the job, you have to have really good reasons to do so. We've taken decisions in the past and put people that we want to put because they're local, and then we turn around and then we have to remove them as well. Are we going to say we're going to leave a local in a position that they're not quite fit for just because they're a local? So, with that being said, we have locals all over the world. I encourage them to also, who have more experience, who have that helicopter view for the type of job that this requires. I encourage you, when you see those ads, to apply. St. Martin wants to promote our own. And so that letter will be going out, that a clear policy is made to ensure that we can raise up our local persons. But to manage a company is not the same as having 30 years of experience in operations. Let's keep that clear. You need a helicopter view. You need to be able to do things at a strategic level. So get the necessary training. Upgrade yourselves. There are courses galore, and we have them also on our Coursera available. So,
wait, stop the tape. Did she just say that locals should do more courses in order for them to be qualified? Did... She said, well, 30 years of experience doesn't mean that you're qualified to run a government-owned company. What? A school teacher who's the Prime Minister of St. Martin. Continue the clip. Continue.
But we cannot change a situation that rolls out the way it does without then having to explain, because you get advice also. You have to request advice also from the Corporate Governance Council, which is a transparent process. So to deviate, you must have very strong reasons. And in this case, we went with what we thought was best for the company at this time.
So she got upset with me because I found out that the Council of Ministers and all the rest of the ministers there, yes, all are you, from National Alliance and up in the Council of Ministers, because all you supposed to be one. Get it? Because we are one. So all you got to take this one. All you got to take this one. All you pick Hans van der Velde? Now, I heard, yes, out of the 30 candidates, the experts sit down and then they send 3 names to the Council of Ministers, who's a shareholder, and they take a pick. And Johannes Hans van der Velde was the best pick. Am I being a racist? No, tell me. And this is during an election year. This is where things are happening at every government-owned company. And WINAIR, they could have saved grace, and they could have actually stick it to the CEO of the airport and put Michel Hyman there. It would have been perfect. It would have been a perfect comeback. It would have saved grace. It would have been like, at least there's hope. But instead, And the bullshit about sending a letter to the government-owned companies about a counterpart program where, you know, a local is going to be seated next to the person who's in charge, and they're only going to be in charge for a certain amount of years, and then they're going to gracefully fly away from Sun, Sea, San, you know, St. Martin. They're going to just fly away and leave the sun here and go back to their coal-ass country, and, of course, give the local the company. You know that's They tried it years ago and it didn't work. Because then companies start to say, we have to pay the counterpart the same amount as we pay the CEO. And that's so much money. It's too much. We won't be able to afford it. It would cripple the company. But you know what? I'm not salty. I'm just disappointed. Because the National Alliance, I never thought I would have heard the day that the National Alliance would be selling out this country left, right, and center. I scared who's going to be the next shareholder representative for the steering committee. Because Marcel Gums was the most Dutch we could get. Thank God he was from here. But then, who Van Exel something going to be the steering committee head from Leerdam? Yeah, but he visited St. Martin 3 times, so he qualifies to be part of the steering committee for St. Martin. National Alliance, we are one. Complete and utter nonsense is happening in this country. Welcome to the late night show. I pissed off. But congratulations, Hans van der Velde. WINAIR, we'll take you there. To the Netherlands? Let's start the show before I continue, because I could go on all day.
Bearers of Broken Walls wishes to inform the public of the upcoming Global Prayer Conference, which will be held under the theme On the Walls of Society and Intercessors, with persons attending from all around the world, featuring the speakers Apostle Moses Rankin from the UK, Apostle Dr. Oral Hazel from St. Thomas, our very own Apostle Dr. Napolina Richardson. Enjoy a night of praise with Pastor Kurt Richardson. This event will be held at the Bel Air Community Center. Tickets are only $100 per person. Tickets are now available at the Family Bookstore, Radio Maranatha, your local churches and committee members. Tickets are limited, so hurry, hurry, hurry. It's time for the Global Prayer Conference in July.
At SXM, we're taking travel and tourism to new heights. Here we boast spacious check-in areas, 10 passport control points, comfortable departure lounges, and finally, there's an airport in the Caribbean that takes your travel plans as seriously as you do. Princess Juliana International Airport.